Welcome to the More Than Scrubs podcast, a podcast where dentists and healthcare professionals can learn how to thrive in or beyond their 9-to-5 job. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my scrubs. But in this podcast, I want to explore how we can build a side hustle, a business, or excel in our careers so that we can have that work-life balance that everyone's always talking about. Healthcare careers have evolved so much in the past decade, so let's find a way that we can evolve with them. My name is Dr. Kamal Chopra. I'm a dentist, a business owner, and I want to take you on this journey with me to find out how we can be more than scrubs. So let's dive straight into it. Welcome to the More Than Scrubs podcast. This is our first episode ever, and this is a podcast where we are talking about thriving beyond the clinic because we are more than scrubs. We want to talk about how we can earn a passive income or build a business or create more of a work-life balance if we are just in our scrubs working. I think in now, the 21st century, it's very hard to just do that because of how much careers have evolved over time. So I've got Yewande here. She is a dentist and a content creator and influencer, and she's got a great following online, and I knew her back when she first started her page, and it's just amazing to see how far she's come. So Yewande, just give us a little bit of an introduction about yourself. Basically, how many years into qualifying do you feel like you started content creation, and how's your journey been so far?
I just want to big up Kamal before we start. Like, I'm so proud of you, and you're such an amazing dentist, and you're just so go-getting, and I know there's going to be a great podcast. So I obviously qualified with Kamal in 2020, often call it the class of COVID. It was an interesting year qualifying during the pandemic. But since then, actually, I feel like I started my content creation journey early on. So my journey into dental school wasn't straightforward. I actually didn't get into dental school first time, and I almost didn't do dentistry.
What did you do instead, almost?
Biomed.
Okay.
Because when you apply to dentistry, you can put an insurance. So I put Biomed in Warwick as my insurance. So it was the easier route was to just go and do that. The harder route was to take a year out and do it again. And it was difficult, but I think in life sometimes it's better to choose the hard route. And now I'm reaping the long-term benefits, because if it wasn't for that situation that happened, I probably wouldn't have shared my journey. So long story short, I started a YouTube channel and I just started sharing my journey. And since then, it's just been history.
Let me pause you, because it was before you started dentistry, right? Your YouTube channel.
Oh, so
Because I've seen the videos. They're great.
Thank you. No, so I got in. It was when I got in.
Okay. Wait, what about your GCSE results?
That was my A-level. I think I posted it after.
Okay.
So yeah, I got into dental school.
Okay.
Wait, I'm even mixing up my
Then
journey now.
you started sharing.
Then I started
All
sharing.
I know is you have a video about hair care that's gone viral. It's so,
yeah. I forgot
that's,
about that one. I don't
great.
talk about that.
So you were going to be a beauty influencer at one point, but okay, we went to dentistry, so fine. It's a bit more.
Well,
niche.
she knows more about me than I know about myself. So.
Yeah.
I did have a hair video, but yeah, dentistry took over. But I guess that just goes to show I've always been the kind of person that I like recording things and just sharing, and it wasn't anything profound. I just got into dental school and I was like, I need to share this and hopefully impact people.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, because of content creation, and you know me and you have kind of been on a similar journey to that. Very different, but also very similar. Like we used to just big each other up about our YouTube channels.
We've got a YouTube video together as well.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so I think that we've been on a similar journey, and I stopped that journey early on. It was in my FD year, and it was because I got told off basically for having a YouTube channel and that I was sharing too much. But again, I think we have similar reasons for why we're doing this. I think it's because we probably felt isolated or felt like we didn't have a mentor or somebody that could guide us in the right direction. And having a platform where you can do that for people, I think it's been great. I'm sure you receive loads of messages as well.
That's the best
how
part.
Much you're helping people.
I think every time I want to just stop or give up, the message from someone saying that because of your YouTube video, I applied for dental school.
Yeah.
Oh, Yewande, I got in. Thank you so much. I mean, I've kind of stopped the YouTube videos now, but I'm still very active on Instagram. Honestly,
YouTube takes long. So,
YouTube is hard. But the one thing I love about YouTube is that the content lives on, and all that hard work is there, it's there forever.
Yeah.
And people will always be able to find those videos that I've made. But I find Instagram is a platform I then started using more. Like, I really like sharing the daily stories, what I'm up to, because I think people like to follow a journey, people like to follow a story, and I think it's helpful for those that, especially, one of the biggest reasons was representation, because I didn't have a lot of people that looked like me in dentistry that I could look up to. So, you know, I think when people message me saying, like, because you're a dentist, I feel like I can do that. So that's a really big thing for me.
So going on from that though, where we both had the same struggles of comparison or imposter syndrome, being on social media makes that heightened, I feel. So how do you balance being that content creator, influencer, and not getting overwhelmed by the outside noise?
Good question. I mean, I feel it's hard. You have to kind of feel the fear, but do it anyway, and just allow people to think what they want to think. There was a time where I used to, I mean, I still a little bit now, but not as much, care so much about what people think. And even going back to uni, I used to record videos and people used to look at me like, oh, what's she doing? Like, and I used to feel so cringe, or like, why am I doing this? But at the end of the day, it's your content, it's your personality. And I feel like half the time people kind of wish they could do that. So they just take it out on you. Like, why are you doing that? Stop. And I got told off as well. But I think I kind of fought for it. I was like...
We got told off so much.
We got told off.
But you were braver than me, because I feel like when I got told off, I was like, okay, I quit everything. I'm never doing any of this again. But you stuck
I fought
out
for my content. I was like, no, this is actually showing your university in a good light. This is having a positive impact on people. I'm not saying anything bad. What's the issue? I'm not getting, like, patients. I think one big thing in dentistry is confidentiality and showing patients' faces. I'm like, this is just me. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So basically, the point of this podcast is to get you guys a bit of guidance on, like, okay, if I am in university or if I've just graduated, I really look up to Yewande. How can I do what she's doing?
I feel like social media content creation definitely started out as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, even in my non-dental life, I post stories. I do like to share.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So I'm a sharer. And my motto is, like, if I find something good, I want other people to feel the joy. And yeah, so I just incorporated that into dentistry. So if I was having, like, a good day, I'd, like, post about it. But I feel sometimes you need to see the behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
And I would share, like, okay, this has been challenging as well. More so, like, in dental school, it can be hard as a professional qualified dentist to post things like that, because you got not only students, dentists, you got patients, like, looking at your post. So you have to be you have to have some professional and discernment about what you post. But if I was to give advice for someone who has never created content before, I just say, think about what you're like as a person and be yourself. Authenticity is key. You can't be like Yewande because there's only one me, but you can... Because I always feel like when people are like, I want to be like you, I'm like, no, but be you.
Yeah.
I think you need to start by thinking, what do I have to offer? What is my unique journey? How can I be authentic to myself? Because if you try and imitate someone else, it's not going to seem authentic and real. And I think on social media, the biggest thing that people connect with is authenticity. So I'd start by saying, look at yourself and look at what you offer. What is your unique perspective? And I get a lot of content is similar. I think there's a lot of people sharing tips, their journey, stuff like that. And it's not saying you can't have a similar journey, but just try and find a way to do it so it's authentic to you. And be confident, back yourself. You know, there were times where I felt like what I was doing was cringe, or I'd be really worried about what people would think about the content. I'm sure when we went to the same uni, and like Com would have to be my hype girl, because I'd be like, oh, Com, like, I want to record this video, like, people are looking, record it.
Yeah, so I would never do it myself. I would like hype you up to do it, but I'd be like, I'm not brave enough. So you do it. I'll channel my social media.
But look, you need your friends, you need your hype girls, you need people that believe in what you're doing. Because if you're surrounded by people that are like, yeah, it's a bit cringe, don't do it, or like, nah, somebody else is already doing that, then obviously you're not going to do it. But I think it's so important to have people that believe in you. And I'm so lucky that when we went to uni, our group, we were all so supportive. We all like lifted each other up and didn't make me feel bad about it. I think they were even in some of the content as well. So
yeah, but don't you find that now that you have loads of followers, now people want to say, oh, I know Yewande, I went to uni with Yewande, or I am friends with Yewande, when it's like, okay, but when I was making my content early on, you guys were not supporting it or laughing or whatever. Do you feel like that? Or, I mean, I feel like that's a thing.
I think those kind of people, maybe they'll never say it to my face or come up to me, but I guess there are people that probably did think like, this is cringe, like what's she doing? But now everyone's got a social media page, so
you were there like when it was starting.
But I think it all came from the fact that, like I was saying earlier, I just love to share.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel cringe to me. So that's why when you were asking if there's somebody out there that wants to do something similar, again, it goes back to just feel the fear and do it anyway. There will be kind of haters or people that don't believe in what you're doing, but you just gotta put all of that aside.
Yeah, agreed. And is there anyone that influenced you? Any role models?
So the first ever dentist I saw on TV was Dr. Uchenna Okoye, the one that did 10 years younger. I was going to say 6 years younger. 10 years younger. 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And may her soul rest in peace. She's now passed away, but she was the first black female dentist that I saw on TV. I think she was even in a Sensodyne advert, and I was just like, wow, this is so good. And the impact that she was making in those people's lives. I don't know if you remember the show, but those people will come in and, you know, get all the work done. I'll be like, this is great. I want to do that. And I guess now we've got loads of like influential dentists on social media that obviously are much older than me, like the likes of Rona, Shadi, Rabia, Zainab. There's so many that were just doing content, and I was just like, wow, I love your videos. And again, I didn't want to imitate them. I wanted to do it in a way that was authentic to me. And, you know, sometimes I did think like, what do people want to hear from a student? These people have made it. Like, they are sharing their truth of living as a well-established dentist, and I'm here like, just did a filling for the first time.
But, you know, those are the most kind of sought-after videos.
Yeah.
Because people want to know what it's like to be a student. They don't want to see this, well, they do want to see the success of being a dentist, or if you're a successful dentist, they like seeing that. But I think people really resonate with if you've had, you know, if you're going through something hard, or if you're a student. I think it's nice, it's comforting to watch something like that as well. For
sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think even if you feel like you don't have anything to offer, trust me, there is something that you might feel nobody wants to listen to or hear about or watch, that there will be.
I always just say it's literally your own experiences.
Yeah.
Like, that's what people want to watch.
Exactly. What made you do your first videos?
I think it was the fact that I wasn't able to get into dentistry twice. So 11 universities rejected me. And it was because, so my parents haven't been to university. I went to a public school. I didn't really have any help with my applications. And once I got to the other side, I was like, that was really hard. And I really, really wish I had help. And, you know, meeting people at university that did have help, I'm like, oh, wow. Like, it was actually, not saying it was easy for them, but it was definitely harder for people like us.
Yeah, we definitely have similar journeys. Yeah. Like, single parent household, didn't have no help, didn't know any dentist. You just had to kind of grind yourself and work hard. And it's either you rely on you, because you can't really rely on help from your parents. So... yes,
and you don't know people in your network, so I think it's like, if we put ourselves online, like we've both had loads of emails on, you know, how can you help me with my personal statement, or we used to do that, you know, helping people as well. So I still do that. Yes, you still do that.
I have a small group of people each year I take on to help with their personal statements and interviews, because I just feel like it's still nice to carry that on, because that's why I started content in the first place.
100%, 100%. Yeah, so that was both of our reasons, I think. And now it's just like being honest about what dentistry is really. I mean, I'm a bit too honest about what dentistry is really like.
I'm sure you guys have seen Com's content. She doesn't hold back, but it's the truth. And you know what? Now it's kind of we switch roles. What I'm scared to do now, you're doing it. So she's like telling the truth.
I've like done a 180 and I don't care anymore. I'm just like, because I was frustrated that no one told me this stuff. I was like, why have I found this out by myself? Like, you've all been there. Why is no one telling me? But it's like a kind of behind closed doors, everyone knows this, but it's not like public knowledge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if it's
you went from I'm shy to guys, this is the truth. and this.
yeah. Let's see how that goes. But okay, Yewande, can you recap for us? So firstly, if I am somebody who is a dental student or even just healthcare student or I've just graduated and I really, really want to do the social media thing, what shall I do? I've made my account. What should I do now? Just give me like 3 simple steps.
Okay, so you want to make social media. First step is find out your why. Why do I want to do this? Firstly, because there's no point starting if you don't even know your why. Find out your audience. Are you doing content for students? Are you doing content for dentists? Are you doing content for the public? So now you know your audience and you know your why. Get a phone. Honestly, everyone's got a mobile phone. iPhone preferably. Sorry, Android, but get a phone. Any phone is fine. And just start recording and make a video.
I'm going to challenge you.
Go on.
Because, okay, why? I get that.
Yeah.
Audience is confusing because I might want to say different things to different people. The other thing is when I have asked this question or people have asked me, I hate saying just get your phone out and record because it's like, it's not as easy as that. There's so many logistics behind posting stuff.
There is, but look, my first YouTube video was on my grainy laptop.
Yeah.
Maybe these days you can't do this, but I literally opened my laptop. It was literally the most, you can go down to the bottom of my YouTube, you'll see it. It's the most grainy video you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And I'm there just talking. But I guess you're right. There are people that can't do that, just open the camera and start talking because it's hard. So if you can't do that, I guess practice first what you're going to say. And if anyone ever saw me after that, I'd practice so many times and you get frustrated with yourself because you have to cut and everything. So yeah, practice. But I get what you mean. Like, are you trying to say like there are people that can't just pick up their phone and record?
I mean, like, if I'm trying to make this into a thing, like I really want this to be successful. Like my why, not mine, but like the person, why might not be just to post. It might be like, I actually want to make this into something.
Sure.
But it gets overwhelming, right? Okay, I've posted a video, but I need to keep posting. Yeah. I need to keep consistent. Yep. So what do I do? Like how...
Stay consistent.
Is there a way?
Schedule your content. Plan it.
Do you schedule your content?
I don't.
Okay.
I literally run on vibes.
So if Yewande can do it, then we can all do it, guys. It's fine. So you don't have to have like a very strict like, okay, today I post this, today I post that.
I hate that. It's so like regimented.
Yeah.
What if 1 week...
So you're saying like just flow freely.
I literally flow freely. Like, but I have like an order on my Instagram, so I know that, okay, I have to post teeth next, but I don't know what case I'm going to do.
Okay, so it helps you just keep a bit organised.
Exactly. Okay. So I know, okay, I need to post something to do with, you know, what I'm up to. So I guess having like a theme on your Instagram is helpful, but it depends what you're doing, whether it's a podcast or YouTube or Instagram, they all have, or TikTok, they all have very different posting styles. Not one fits all.
Yeah.
So it depends on which one you want to do, really.
Yeah.
And that would be a whole separate podcast if I went through every single one.
Another tip is just to see like what works, right? Because not everything works when you post it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Honestly, there's TikToks I've posted. I was like, this is gonna
You thought
bang.
that was gonna be so good.
This is gonna be so
You're like,
good.
damn, I'm gonna get so many views.
And then like you're there 24 hours.
It's like crickets.
Yeah, you're like.
No.
But then you don't delete it because I've had videos like that where I didn't delete it, and in a few months' time, something starts trending again, and it just people start watching it again.
Yeah.
So you never know the time when it's going to be relevant. So just don't feel bad about it. Keep it on there. And as long as you show some trusty friends or a couple people, what do you think about this? Like, if you're really in your head, there's been times I've sent my friends videos like, oh, is this, what do you think? And then they'll say, oh, it's not bad. So you're not in your head that you just posted something rubbish.
Fair enough. Okay, fine. Right, so you're saying if someone wants to start out, they can just post, be authentic, post about their experiences, but I want to make this into a bit of a career, like a side hustle. How do I get in touch with brands and get sponsorships and things like that? Because I know that's like advanced level, but you can get micro influencers, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel brands start noticing you once you are already doing good content and you've already got an established audience, because what brands are after, they want someone who they can tap into that audience, because at the end of the day, if you haven't got people that they're interested in, they're not going to want to work with you. So early on, I started working with brands like Dental Protection, Colgate, and this was all because of Joe. So Joe he's I call him my agent, because he helps dentists like link up with brands. And I was so new to this. Like, I was just posting my content for fun. I didn't think it was going to turn into something that I could like make money from until we had like a chat, and he was like, you know, companies are actually looking for people like you to talk to students. So it started off as like webinars, so they'll pay you to do like a webinar, and I was just so happy. I was like, wow, I'd say this information for free, but they're paying me, cool. And then it turns into like brand deals and sponsorships. So there is an avenue to definitely make, I guess, a side hustle from it, but it can't become a side hustle if you don't have an engaged audience.
Yeah. So start with building an audience.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many followers, or does it matter? Or is it more like how loyal they are?
I mean, I don't think so much now it's how many numbers, because it's really hard to grow on Instagram these days. Instagram is not what it used to be. I think it's more so your influence over them. There's micro influencers as well, where you don't have to have loads, like, you know, thousands and thousands. As long as you just have a group of people that believe what you say and you're authentic about it, then brands will reach out to you. They might start off by sending you products, so not necessarily, you know, monetary, but products. Yeah, I think it all takes time. You can't expect to post content and start brands reaching out to you and stuff. Yeah. And don't be afraid to reach out to brands. I think
Have you ever done that?
I think in the beginning I did ask Figs, like, "Hey, can I rock your scrubs?"
Yeah, I'm sure.
They didn't reply.
You're not oh, okay. Oh, okay.
But it's fine. Like, now with Happy Threads, I like their scrubs, and they came to me. I think it's nicer when someone comes to you and you don't feel like you're begging someone for something.
Yeah.
So yeah, Happy Threads started sending me their scrubs and I was wearing it.
Is that how it started? Like they sent you their scrubs and then you liked the product?
Yeah, and I genuinely did.
So you're basically saying that you can do it yourself, but somebody who has experience in it, you'd probably get a better experience. But that's with anything, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And there's so many non-dental like influencer marketing agencies. You can just reach out to find out like what should I be getting for a post. So yeah, I think it's good to get in contact with someone who actually knows what they're doing. Or you might be great at finances. There's some people that are blessed at negotiation and they already know what to do. Yeah, and obviously if you have an agent, they're going to take a percentage anyway. Whereas if you don't, it's all yours. But I guess you just have to weigh up the benefits of having someone that has that knowledge, giving them percentage, or just doing it yourself.
Okay, so fine. And I'm there now. I've got a bit of a following. I have people that interact with me. I have somebody's reached out to me, a brand. What are the red flags that I should look out for?
Good question. If a brand doesn't align with your values, so for example, I had a brand reach out to me. I don't want to say it because it's like not nice to just head them out like this, but I didn't believe in their product.
What was the product? Can you say? Can you give us like idea?
A toothpaste brand that makes your teeth purple.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Right, yeah. Okay. And they're meant to be whiter in like 10 seconds, basically. Okay. And I was just like, this does not sit right with me. Okay, you're popular. Okay, you've got like big influencers using you, but I don't believe that. So I actually said, no, I'm not going to do this.
And it's okay to say no.
It's absolutely fine because I think moral integrity and knowing that you're doing things the right way is way better. I would hate to feel like I'm selling myself out for something that I just don't believe in. And you have to be careful online because there are people that will promote things that they don't believe in because someone's paying them.
Yeah.
But I just never wanted to be like that because that's just lack of authenticity.
So do you feel like that brand, for example, did you see any dentists that were promoting it, or it's more of people that may not know about dentistry?
Actually, funny enough, you said that. I don't think I've seen actual dentists promote it.
Yeah, so that's something to look out for, right? Like, you know how they say like 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this?
Yeah.
If they're not saying that, then the dentist's probably not recommending this
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there will be so many toothpaste brands, oral care, whatever it is, that want to get dentists involved, but everyone's saying no, and that's for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they'll just go to like other influencers that aren't in the dental space, and there's less consequences for them promoting stuff.
I'm pretty sure I was listening to a podcast or I saw something, and they said that there was a health product that no doctor was endorsing. So they got somebody who who acted as a doctor on a show to promote the health product. Because no doctors were saying they would. So he said, I'm a doctor on TV, so I'm promoting this. And it sold really well. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Wow.
But yeah, so you have to be careful with these things, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
There's going to be, the general public don't know
It's
if you're a
sad
dentist
though,
or not.
because you just don't know what to believe, and that's where you have to use your own discernment and really research before you get sold anything.
So any brands that you work with, do you do your research?
100%.
Yeah.
There's even a brand that I'm releasing some content for them soon, and they asked me to do like, to be fair, I don't think they mind me saying it. It's actually Listerine. So they basically, for a long time, we've been told we can't use mouthwash after brushing our teeth.
Yeah.
Which is something that I've made videos saying don't use mouthwash after brushing your teeth. But they released a new product where they've got amount of fluoride in there that actually doesn't affect the fluoride in the toothpaste. It actually increases the fluoride availability. And at first I was just like, really? I need to see some studies about this. Can you send me some papers? I had a meeting with their head of science because I really wanted to understand it before I started making videos about it.
Yeah.
And especially where I don't want to say one thing and start saying the other. So I sat down before I even said yes to their offer. I was like, okay, cool. Do I believe this before I start telling other people? So I think that's a really good example of a time where I could have just said yes because, oh my gosh, it's Listerine. But it challenged me and it made me feel like, oh, do I believe that?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it's a product that you would use yourself. Yeah, that's another hard one. I think you see like one dentist that is saying don't use fluoride at all. One dentist that's saying use hydroxyapatite. One dentist that's saying oil pulling is okay or something like that. It's like, even as a dentist myself, sometimes I get confused. I'm like, I don't know what to believe.
But like, if you're going to use it yourself, then
yeah.
I wouldn't promote something I wouldn't do.
Okay, so let's talk numbers.
Okay.
You don't have to be very specific, but just give me like an idea. So let's go through the steps. So I've got my following, I've got people that interact with me, I've got some brands that have been in touch and I trust them. How am I supposed to know what to charge or what to ask for?
Again, it comes back to having someone that knows this stuff. So
True.
like an agent or someone that works in the brand ambassador space. But generally you can make something like £200 from a post to like thousands. You look at like 8,000, 10,000 for like a post.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
The amount you make depends on obviously the amount the company has to give and also your following and how much they want to invest in you. So yeah, it can be really, really good financially. But obviously if you're not having deals every month, it's not like consistent source of income. So I'm not going to start quitting dentistry and just be a full-time influencer or whatever, brand ambassador. I think it's nice like on the side, but I don't think it's something you can like fully rely on.
Fine. So talking about on the side though, so you're a full-time dentist. How do you manage being a content creator on the side? Because it's a lot.
It is
Don't
a
you
lot.
think?
Yeah. It's a part-time job on top of it, because you constantly feel like there's work to do if you're not editing a story, or if you're not, thinking what's next. But I feel like I have a good balance. I incorporate it in my life. So let's say I'm on the train or I'm not doing much. Okay, I'm going to think of what I'm going to do for my story. Sometimes I do work too hard. I'll stay up late trying to like make a story. But I've learned over the years to like have boundaries to myself and be like, okay, Yewande, time out. And it's okay to take time off if you need it. So there's been times where I've gone on a social media break where I'm just like, I need time off. So I think it just depends on your schedule. Some people work 4 days a week, which is fine, or 3 days, so they have time. But I kind of work 4.5 days.
Tell us what your schedule's like actually while we're here, because I think this will be really interesting for young dentists to listen to, because I think older dentists, they're used to like 9 to 5, 5 days a week, 6 days a week. And what are you doing differently?
I work in shift patterns. So Monday is 2 till 8. So I have the morning off, which is nice. Tuesday, I call it my killer day. I work 7:30 till 8, which is 12 hours.
That's crazy.
It is. But I won't do that forever. But for now, whilst I'm got energy. Wednesday used to be my day off, but I've just started at a brand new practice in central London. So I work 2 till 8 there. And then Thursday, I work 7:30 to 1:30. And then Friday is alternate. So some days I have Friday off. Some days I do it 9 to 3. But I think I'm going to start taking Friday off now. But
okay.
Yeah, so I don't think my week is conventional, but it works for me at the moment.
So roughly you're doing like 4 days.
Roughly,
kind of.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And that works better for you than if you were doing 9 to 5 every day, do you think?
I think at the moment it does. I like having a late start. But the late finishes are a killer though. Being at work till like, there's been times where I've left the practice at 11 because I've just been doing admin after, or even like uploading my photos and editing it and doing the layout, or even like, patient follow-ups. So the admin after dentistry, I think a lot of people underestimate that.
You need admin time.
You do.
You can't just go to work, be a dentist, and then have no time for admin and kind of have that as extra.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have a life.
Exactly.
Right? So firstly with dentistry, okay, you're in the practice. Once you leave the practice, the work is done, right? With social media and content creation, your phone is in your hand all the time. So you said about you know how to set boundaries, or you have breaks. How do you kind of police yourself? Because I know myself from my experience, I can get sucked into that, just literally scrolling. Look, I'm trying to do maybe like research for how I'm going to post something, and then 2 hours later, I'm still on TikTok, just scrolling.
TikTok is the worst
one. It's the devil.
You just keep going down and down, and you're like, oh, this is nice. Look, I haven't got it all figured out. I'm still kind of policing myself. But there comes a time where I'm just like, you need to stop now.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting your time.
And it gets overwhelming because like you've just wasted 2 hours where you could have been doing something, or you could have been with your friends or whatever. Yeah. So I think it's a lot actually, and people don't give social media content creators enough credit. That it's actually like a mental, you have to be quite strong.
You have to.
And overcome that addiction to social media, don't you think?
100%. And I think the hard thing as well is that I'm not just doing social media for my page. So I'm part of the Black Dental Network, and I do social media for that page as well. Yeah, so running the page with Dr. Arnold, we do the media on Black Dental Network. That can be quite overwhelming when you have 2 social media pages to run. Yeah. But I think it's just about setting specific time in your day to do that, and having some time to recharge, because we can't do it all, and it can be a lot, and then you don't want to end up hating it. Yeah.
So do you feel like you have had that, like you felt burnt out, or you felt like you've had enough of it and you just want to turn off?
A lot of pressure to keep showing up. When it starts getting like that, I'm like, okay, maybe you need to relax. Because if you don't have much to get, you can't pour from an empty cup. So you need to be able to charge yourself up, refuel, and then come back again online. And people will know when you're like not quite yourself. I've had people message me, people that I don't even know, like, are you okay? I'm like, really? Yeah, I'm fine.
Really? Okay, so they can read you through the screen.
Yeah, I think when people like follow you on social media, it's almost like some people haven't met me, but it's kind of like they have a connection with you, which can be good as well, but sometimes it's like, oh, this is strange. But it's nice that people care.
We've been a bit negative already about how it can get overwhelming, but I'm sure there's loads of positives from being a content creator as well.
Yes.
So what's your favourite thing about being a content creator?
Oh, I love it. I know, like Com said, we have kind of been like a lot of negatives, but I think the positives outweigh the negatives.
Yeah.
You have the power to make such a huge impact on social media. Social media, you can reach thousands of people that you don't know. And I've connected with so many dentists, so many students, and just put your name out there in a way that back in the day they would never have had this opportunity. So I think in terms of impact, you can have such a great impact. You can connect with people, and representation as well. You can show, my thing has always been, I want to show dentistry in a positive light. I think a lot of people have negative stigma about what a dentist should be like or how a dentist should look, or, you know, and I love to change that. I actually love treating patients that come in and are scared of the dentist, and they come out and they're like, oh, that wasn't that bad. And I've actually had someone come back to say, before I came to see you, I actually hated coming to the dentist, but it feels like a second home now. And that was really lovely.
Yeah.
Like they felt like they were coming to see, she actually said I felt like I was coming to see my cousin. And I was like, oh.
And you're human too, basically. Yeah, so it's not like you're just a scary dentist that doesn't have a soul. It's like, well, I'm just a girl like you.
Literally. I'm just trying my best.
Yeah. So it's good to show your patients that. Because I'm sure patients see your profile and they're like, oh, this is somebody that I can trust, or I already feel like I know her.
That's the key thing, and I love that. So that's what social media can do. It can allow people to know you before they even meet you. But what about you? Because I know you post the realistic side of it. How do you deal with like those that might not even understand dentistry, but negative comments and still make it positive?
Well, it's hard. I find it really hard to deal with that, if I'm really honest. I think firstly, it's mostly random people in the general public that are probably unhappy with their dentist or the situation of, you know, NHS and stuff like that. They're the ones that have something to say. But actually, when I've made videos about just being honest about how dentistry actually works within the NHS, I've gotten loads of people just, you know, non-dentists saying that, oh, I never knew that, and thanks for explaining it to me, because no one's ever said that, right? So that's a bonus, and that's what helps me kind of, I'm like, okay, I can still make these videos because it's helping people understand stuff. The biggest thing is, so I will get like one negative comment, but I'll get like 100 good ones. But the one negative one will make me feel like rubbish, right? So it's like, you need to remember that if so many people are watching your videos, there's going to be at least 1, 5, 10 people that are going to have something bad to say.
Yeah, for
They're
sure.
never all going to say something good, right? So I think one of the biggest thing that keeps me wanting to post is the messages, the DMs that I get from colleagues, because they're literally like, oh my God, I relate so much, or oh my God, I'm so happy that someone's talking about this. Because I found the reason I started doing this was because me and my colleagues, we used to complain at lunchtime in staff rooms. I'm sure you have that sometimes as well. Like there's just something that's annoyed you and you're like, guess what happened to me? Or this is so annoying that this is like this. And I was like, oh, so everyone feels like this. It's not just us in our practice, or like when we talk with our friends, there's something, you know, we might complain about something. So I feel like, that's what keeps me wanting to do it, because I feel like it's definitely relatable because it's true.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing with social media, I feel like now we're in 2025. It used to be like all glamour and whatever's really nice and only show the nice parts of your life. But I don't know if you've noticed recently, people are just really open and sharing like the hard parts of life.
For sure.
And that's what keeps, I think, everyone else sane on social media. Don't you think?
Nothing is picture perfect. Social media is smoke and mirrors. You see a highlight reel, and I think it's nice when people are being real, being honest, and look, we're all kind of in the same boat, just trying to figure the next step out. No one's got it all figured out. And even if some people appear like they have,
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
You actually don't know
You
what's
actually
going
don't.
on.
And you always hear stories like, you're like, oh, but this couple on YouTube were like the best
The best.
couple.
Oh my gosh,
and now
they
they've
broke up.
broken up. Yeah, so it's like, okay, but you only show us what you want us to see, right? And I think everybody who uses social media needs to remember that. Like, whether you're posting on it, whether you're just scrolling on it, you need to remember that it's not all real. And we know that, like, we will post something, but then we'll have a chat behind the scenes and be like, I actually feel like this today.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
So it's important to show everyone that your life's not perfect, because we're not all perfect.
Life's not perfect, unfortunately.
No. What's your biggest challenge after qualifying, do you feel? Or when you qualified, what did you feel like was a challenge? Because I feel like it's not talked about enough that there are issues that newly qualified dentists are facing.
Yeah.
I think it's always been a statistic that dentists do face these kind of challenges in their profession. But what do you think it was for you?
I'd say one of the biggest challenges was the pressure to have it all figured out. I feel when you qualify as a dentist, you know, you do your FD training, but then after that you have loads of decisions to make. I feel like you're very pressured. Is it DCT? Do I want to specialize? And you kind of feel, if you don't know the set path, you kind of feel a bit silly, like, what do I need to do? But I think I applied for DCT, which is dental core training, for anyone that doesn't know. I didn't get into that, but I think I just accepted that as a sign because I knew my hearts of hearts, I didn't want to be in a hospital environment, but I think I was just going with the flow. And sometimes we can often try and do things because everybody else is doing it. So yeah, I ended up in general practice, and I think that was the best route for me for what I'm doing anyway.
Yeah.
And also imposter syndrome, again, where you're surrounded by such amazing people that are doing well, excelling, and you just feel like, oh, am I good enough? Pressure to prove yourself. What about you? What do you feel like your biggest challenge was?
Yeah, definitely the fact that it's comparison to everybody else. Yewande, what message do you have for a dentist that's feeling stuck in their career right now and they just want to do something different? It might not be content creation. It might just be like, I just feel a bit stuck.
My first thing I'd say is that you don't have to stay stuck. You know, dentistry is more than drill, fill, pay the bill. Like, people see dentistry as just, I'm going to just do this, go home. This podcast is great because Com's going to have guests that show you that there is more to life than dentistry. And I think if you just explore, what can I do? There's so many support groups on Facebook or people that have gone through these experiences that you can lean on. And don't be afraid to message people that maybe they're doing something more than dentistry and you're like, oh, I'm going through this. Can you help me? There's been times where people have messaged you, Com, and a word that you can give to someone on that day can literally change their outlook. So I think if you are feeling stuck, just try to not stay in that place of feeling sorry for yourself. It's easier said than done, I know. But I think the more you stay there, the longer you're going to take to change. All it takes is just one day to be like, okay, I'm going to try something different. So I think don't be afraid to try something different that's out of your usual, whether that might be moving practices or going to another side of the world or just traveling, or it doesn't have to be content, or just trying something new. Okay, not everyone's in the financial position to do something like that, but whatever you can do in your means, that's different to what you're already doing. Because what is it? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
True.
So
that's so true. So I agree with that. I think it's worse to stay. Like, I know we're all scared of change and we're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
We like the comfort. But have you heard of the term golden shackles?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's basically you're working a good job, you're getting paid well, but you hate it, or you don't hate it, or you want something different, right? But you're in these golden shackles because you can't, there's no real reason why you should leave or why you should change something. It's going fine. You're getting your paycheck every month. So why would I? Like, everyone's going to think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm going to make a financial decision that may impact me badly for a few months or weeks. But being stuck in the golden shackles, you will just miss out on so much, don't you think?
Facts.
And obviously, like you said, not everyone's in the financial situation. Your family situation might be different where you can't just pick up and do that. But the advice I give to people, because I get messages about this quite a lot now since I've been talking about my fun employment, is just cut down literally a few hours or give yourself a half day a week just to do something you think you might enjoy more. That could be working in a different practice. I'm not saying it should be away from dentistry, right? It could be working in a different practice. It could be starting social media.
Yeah.
It could be learning an instrument, like literally, or just a hobby, or spending time with your family, because that is just going to give you that break from the, I guess, monotonous life.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure. And I think one thing I want to end with is there's a book called The Regrets of the Dying by Bronnie Ware. And one of the things that really stood out to me is that one of the things that they kept on saying was that I wish I lived a life that was true to me and not what others expected of me. So that just really hit home, that if we're just constantly trying to live for others, do what's expected, you'd never feel truly fulfilled in yourself.
100%. Yeah, that's a good point to end on. But I have some bonus questions for you.
She's like, you're not done yet.
That is really good. That is really good. Okay. We know that dentists and healthcare professionals, they face a lot of stress.
Okay.
Yeah, we know that. It's out there. Everyone's talking about it. How do you handle stress?
How do I handle stress? The first thing that came to mind is my faith. So I go to church, I sing in the choir. It's such a big part of my life. And I think it's just so different from just what I usually do, it's something I've been brought up with my whole life. So I think it just gives me that peace and joy that dentistry doesn't give me.
Fine. There's something higher than our careers and just life on earth, right?
And to people that are not religious, then your thing could be sports or just doing something completely different to dentistry or just taking time out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just if your faith is helping you kind of ground yourself, anything that helps you just take a step back and feel like you're a living person on this earth. You're not just here to work or stress about things.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
If you weren't doing this job as a dentist, what would your dream job be?
Ooh. Well, going back to young Yewande,
Yeah.
I wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
So I think I'm kind of doing that already by being in the choir.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have loved to be like touring.
Would you be in a band or would you be solo?
Probably solo. Like I looked up to Beyonce, so I thought that's where I was going to be. But
you are our Beyonce. Dental Beyonce.
I wish. No, but yeah, I got really shy when people asked me to sing on the spot.
No, she doesn't. We went to Dominican Republic
I think it was about BDSA.
Oh, and yeah, I mean that one, mate, you messed up there. There
was a BDSA conference where they had a prize, Tiffany earrings. I didn't know that at the time for someone who came up to sing.
And we were like, Yewande, just go, man. Like, you're good at singing, just go. She was like, no, I can't. And that is like one of your biggest regrets.
And that ties into everything we're saying.
And what did the person get?
They got Tiffany earrings. Can you imagine? So you don't know the talent that you have that you're holding back. You don't know what's waiting for you on the other side.
And you're blocking your blessings. You could have got Tiffany earrings.
If I just went, and the person that sang, no shade, no tea, they just sang some little song and I was
Despacito,
like...
I remember. Because I was like, like, why did you not go up there?
But yeah, you got to back yourself. I was just shy. I was like, oh my God.
Would you, if you could go back, would you change that? Would you go up there?
Yeah, for sure.
Would you, if anyone ever asked you to sing now, would you just do it?
Don't ask me to sing on the podcast.
No. It's like everyone's like switching on. No, but would you, like, if now, say you went to like a BDSA or whatever, and someone said, I need someone to come and sing, would you do it?
It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I think with everything that I've learned in my life.
We've grown since then.
Yeah. I have to just back myself.
Yeah, and you're a great singer.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I was going to tell the story about Dominican when we went there, and she literally had a Beyonce moment. She sang, what did you sing, Love on Top?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it was great. Everyone was standing and everyone was dancing. You were a great entertainer.
Thank you.
And we were all so proud. So yeah, definitely I can see that being your second career or other career in an alternate
universe.
Yeah.
What about you, Com? I'm going to ask you that.
Oh man, I would be like a food influencer, like a food taster.
Girl, you can do that now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could, but yeah, I would just be like a food critic or something. I just love eating and tasting different foods. So I think that's what comes to mind when I say, yeah. Okay, so thank you, Yewande, for coming on my podcast.
It's okay.
I'm so happy that we finally did this.
I know.
I've been saying it for ages. And a message to everyone, we are more than scrubs. We need to treat ourselves like we are humans beneath these scrubs. Respect our time, respect our mental health, mental space, and don't be scared if you want to try something different. It's okay. And also love what you do. And it doesn't matter if that is dentistry, if it's another healthcare profession, or if it's something completely different. It's okay. Just look out for yourself. Any final words, Yewande?
Just to echo what Com said, you're more than scrubs. And you are destined for great things. So believe in yourself. As cheesy as it may sound, genuinely believe in yourself. Because if I did, I would have won Tiffany earrings.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, thank you for listening.